Welcome to the Proactive Women Podcast. I'm your host, Joyce Palmer, and I'm here with our fabulous co-host, Miss Francine Marie. Hello, thank you for joining us. So we've got a special guest today. Yeah, no, we don't have a guest. We've got a guest today. And guess what? Men think about their finances too, but do they think about it in the same way as women do? We have Daryl E. Kelson with us as our guest today, and we're excited about it, right, Joyce? We are super excited. Yes, we are, because we like men too when we do financial planning. We do, because they have to plan for this as well. So, without further ado, we're excited to dive in. All right, Mr. Daryl E. Kelson. Welcome, Daryl.
Thank you for having me.
We are honored to have you. Daryl's been with JP Financial Group on our journey for a while, and he is going to share with us today his perspective on why men need to plan as well, and why at JP Financial Group we tailor our planning to women, but we also understand that men need to plan as well. So, Daryl, what was it for you? Because women, we kind of follow the lead as men sometimes, but you as a man, how did you know I've got to start planning? And when did you think about it? Because you've been DJing, we have to mention that. We have a real DJ that does mine in the seat. And you can't find that these days. When did you start DJing?
I'm going to date myself now.
Okay.
I started when I was 13, and it was a way to get out the house, meet girls, buy all the clothes and the sneakers and stuff that my parents didn't have money to get for me, and ended up parlaying into a sideline business.
What's the name of your business?
SGL Productions.
And that stands for?
So Good Looking.
He is so good looking, right? DJs are great looking gentlemen. Let's just be all SGL DJs.
Please.
SGL expressions, because you teach as well.
Yes.
You teach the young ones how to do divine, which is back now.
Yeah, it's a lost. It's going to be a lost art. I'm first generation DJs when DJs first started with the vinyl and the scratching and whatnot. So if I don't teach to somebody, it died with me.
Right. Sure. And so, Daryl, how did you pick JP Financial Group?
To be quite honest, Joyce and I went to school together, and we've been friends forever.
Let's not date us.
I was going to say, I'm about to tell you
I've
your
only
age.
known you since yesterday. I'm only young. But yes, we have.
So I worked at FedEx for over 30 years, and when I first started with FedEx, I got some of the best advice I got was take advantage of all the financial advice and vehicles that they have for us, 401k, pension, stock options, and I was 27, 28 years old. I really didn't understand all of that, but I just knew I was told, you need to sign up for this, you need to sign up for that. So that's what I did. Then fast forward, I'm in my late 40s, early 50s, and I'm starting to think, okay, retirement's on the horizon. I'm starting to look at these accounts and watch them grow, and thinking, okay. And I'd always said, by the time I was in college, that I wanted to be able to retire when I'm young. Asked that, and it's funny. Good friend of mine, he reminded me of that when I retired. He said, you always said you were going to retire young. You would retire early. And, but that was always the plan. Put stuff in place early on so that when it came time to retire, I'd hopefully be financially set.
And right, that's what makes a difference. Planning and ladies, right? So the question is, retirement planning and women in your life, right?
Self-help.
How does that play a role?
Well, for starters, been married 30 years, and
Congratulations.
thank you. And I knew it wasn't just for me that should something happen to me, before her, she's got to be financially set. We've got 2 kids here, both adults now, but that doesn't mean they're off the payroll.
Right. I know.
So everybody, so, and trust
And you know her.
yes, and she will be on the payroll.
Yeah. Yeah.
So part of my planning and my thought process was, okay, whatever I put into place has to be not just enough to provide for me while I'm here, but if I'm gone, financially I won't be missing.
Oh, that's what I love. I know. I told you I have the best male clients because when I say JP Financial Group's financial boutique for ladies, a lot of guys say, well, what about guys? I say, well, we focus with men who really truly do put planning for their spouse, for their children, for their women in their lives a priority. And that's an example, right? He's thinking of it along the way.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. And both of you are on the same page because that's another element, that's another component to retiring. Everybody has to be on the same page. So shout out to your wife.
Let's say that's a big element. Both have to see the vision. And there were times along the way where I won't say she didn't see the vision, but I had to kind of paint the picture. But made some investments early that so actually she started us on investing in some rental properties. And at first I didn't see that. Oh, who wants to be a landlord? Oh, it's a headache or whatever. She said, no, we could do it. And we ended up doing that. So that was also part of our total financial portfolio.
Sure. And a lot of times I think women don't like to look at the financial stuff. They kind of stray away from it. It's intimidating. It's not something they want to embrace. So often if you are married, it takes one person to say, okay, I'm going to kind of take the lead and then, direct them to go into the planning. Because women sometimes don't want to do it on their own.
Really? We've got to go shopping.
That's right. Shopping is much more.
Much more
Spend the
important.
money, not necessarily manage the money. It's what we enjoy. This is a good opportunity to just put a little info commercial out there. So if you're listening and this topic resonates with you, whether you are a woman or a man, we offer a complimentary 20-minute strategy call where you get to call in and just kind of throw out your questions and get answers and directions on your retirement planning. So feel free to do that, 704-543-6269 for a strategy session with us.
And we're just tuning in. This is the Proactive Women Podcast. I'm the co-host, Fran Marie. We have our host. It's Joyce Palmer with JP Financial Group. She's the CEO and managing partner. And we have a guest today. Because we love women. We're proactive women. But we love, at JP Financial Group, we love men.
Yes.
Daryl E. Kelson. DJ. Okay, I'll stop. But yeah, do you have a guilty, we're going to do guilty pleasures, right? What we spend money on, have been spending money on. What's I know Joyce's.
Yeah.
Joyce, please go first.
My guilty spending pleasure is shoes. I love to buy shoes.
And they're always cute.
Yep.
Always. And
I'm
I'll go
size 7 if you want to know.
size 7. Yeah, she's got the cutest shoes. Exactly. I love thrifting. I can go thrifting every day.
Wow.
Every day.
And she finds great stuff. Every time I see, I'm like, oh yeah, thrift shop. Oh, it was good deals. I don't have the patience for thrifting. I don't. So that's our guilty spending pleasures. Daryl, true confessions.
Let's get say I feel bad. So you got shoes, you got thrifting. I buy bourbon.
Bourbon, yeah. Oh, and I remember what's the kind you like again? Oh,
Well, that's just it.
You like different kinds.
Yeah, different kind. Bourbon, whiskey, scotch. I try to find bottles that are hard to find or rare or just really good. And we have a little bourbon group, me and a couple of the fellas.
Oh,
And what we
man.
do is once a month we get together and each one of us hosts. And what we do is we'll go out, if you're hosting this month, you'll go out and you'll find a bottle. And normally it's a bottle that may be a little on the expensive side that I wouldn't buy myself because I'm not going to spend that much on a bottle. However, if it's 8 or 9 of us chipping in on a bottle, that 15, 20 bucks a piece, and we get to taste things that we normally
Right.
wouldn't be able to taste.
Well, that's a good way to have a guilty spending pleasure. Split the cost.
Yeah, yep.
That's
even smarter.
That's smarter. That's smarter because I'm not splitting the cost on my shoe. That's a good one. I like that.
Man,
Like that.
I can see Daryl at his DJ booth, sponsored by the Bourbon Company.
Right?
You didn't bring me today, right? Okay.
No,
It's
but
so
I, probably,
early.
I was going to say,
It's
but I
so
probably
early.
need some after this podcast.
After the podcast. So I have another question on the retirement. So often, especially now when I'm talking to retirees, we talk about what are you going to do after you retire? What does retirement look like? Are you going to, travel all over the world? Are you going to sit home and eat bombs and watch Lifetime? What's going to be the retirement lifestyle? Often I'm hearing now people want to find something they can do that still keeps them engaged, still keeps them active, and still brings in compensation, right? Monies, side hustles. So we know that you have a side hustle that we just learned since you were 13, but how relevant is that with people retiring to have something that they do after they retire that could still generate income?
Well, to be quite honest, I didn't have that answer when I first started talking about retirement. I just said, okay, sit back and kind of see what happens. And it didn't take long before things started popping up. I did some extra work in a couple movies that was shot here in Charlotte.
So he's a movie star too.
Oh, multi-talented.
See, what's funny is when the movie comes out and we have this whole big red carpet thing. Well, first I got to see if I made the cut. If I made the cut, even if I'm in it for 10 seconds, oh, it's going to be a big production.
Okay.
But
We'll have a bourbon party.
see, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
But between that, I do some consulting work. Nephew has a trucking company, and since I spent so many years in trucking, I'm lending my expertise to help him build his business.
Good.
I'm also heavily involved in my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Sorry, so I've picked up on some things that keep me busy. People always ask me, well, I'm afraid I'm going to be bored when I get retired. Well, the biggest difference now is I'm doing the things that I want to do versus what I have to do. So Leslie will tell you, I'm busier now than I was when I was working. But you got to be open to trying new things. I don't just sit around the house and stay engaged. One of the things that you taught me is that so one of the most difficult things when you first retire is that you spend all this time saving, learning how to save for tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's here. Now you have to learn how to spend, and that's a big adjustment because where before it's like, no, I really don't want to splurge on that, or I don't want to do this. Now it's like, well, wait a minute. It's not now, when? Because tomorrow might not be here. Granted, you want your money to last, but you can't take it with you.
That's what they say.
Yep.
Yeah, you wanted to, and it's a different mindset. Like you say, for years, you were saving, accumulating, putting money away, making sacrifices, and now all of a sudden, someone's telling you, okay, spend the money. No more saving, just spend it. It's like, well, wait a minute, I'm not too comfortable with that, right? Because it's a different mindset. Just a different mindset.
One other thing, since retiring, I've had time tax week teach myself about how money works. And sitting down with JP Financial kind of started me on that trend. I'm looking and I'm like, okay, I understand what she's doing, but you know, so let me do some read. Let me really dig into this a little bit. So not only do I understand the moves, but I can suggest or say, you know, something, I want to try this. I want to do that, and really educated myself on how money works. Because once you understand how it works, you handle it differently. So now, where before I was giving my kids financial advice, now I'm like, oh no, you guys really need to read this and you need to listen.
You're leaving a legacy.
Oh, I'm trying.
Yeah.
sorry.
The alignment, the values, the vision that JP Financial Group allows us to see and open up. Because Joyce is really truthful.
Yes. Oh, that she.
She goes, Francine, I think you're in the red zone.
That's right. That's why I said, well, I can give it to you straight, no chaser, or I can sugarcoat it. And most people want it straight. They do. But it's a way to do that too, right? Because usually what I find is that by the time a person gets to us, they've done more right than wrong. And that's an accomplishment. And now it's just getting them over the finish line. It's fine-tuning those gaps and taking advantage of the opportunities and getting them to the finish line. But in most cases, they've done more right already. And in Daryl's case, exactly that. I mean, start out, you have to come to the table with something first. You have to have already done some saving and investing and being prudent with your money. So when you've done that, the planning process now is a lot easier.
So I just really like that. JP Financial Group, you can go there, www.jpfinancialgroupllc.com. That's where you can go. Get your 20 minutes. You want to be like Dara, right? You want to retire with confidence
And retire early.
Whoa, that's a biggie.
More people want to retire early.
They want to enjoy life.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
That was the goal. I wanted to retire when I was young enough to still actually enjoy it versus working till I can't. Because once you can't work anymore, that means you can't play anymore.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a hashtag. Yes.
So Daryl, as we kind of wrap up our show, and we are really, really glad you came to join us. Sit between two ladies. We know that was a task.
And it was a setup.
But you've done it so well. What type of advice will you give to our listeners, both the women and the men, as it pertains to the next chapter, planning for the retirement and action steps that they should do if they're listening now?
For starters, learn how money works. To educate yourself. And it's not just taking money and putting it in the bank or keeping it under your mattress. To figure out, learn, teach yourself how to make the money work for you. And you don't need a lot of money to start out with. You say a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there. I mean, I still pick pennies, a couple off the ground. And the kids are like, what are you doing picking that? Because pennies make sense. It's McDonald's.
Yeah.
$7 add up.
It adds up.
I have a buddy who's in banking and been in banking for years, and he used to complain about how these people would come in and they'd be worth several million, and they'd complain because there'd be a discrepancy on their statement, and it would be for like $10 or $15. And I didn't understand it at first till I started educating myself, and then realized that the reason they're complaining is because they know that $10 or $15 over time can add up to $1,000. And that's why they complain, because they make sure they're keeping track of their money.
Yep.
And again, he was in banking for years. I had to educate him. I said, dude, don't look at them like they're a pain in the butt. No, you need to learn from them, because that's how they got the millions to begin with.
Yep.
But back to your question, save, enjoy yourself along the way, but it's save, and don't wait until it's 2 or 3 years before retirement to come see you guys. So come in earlier. I waited until about 3 or 4 years before I planned to retire, because I'm thinking, oh, okay, now's the time to start talking about it. And fortunately for me, like you said, I had made the right moves leading up to it, but for a lot of people, that might not be the case.
Right.
So yeah, don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah. Call us sooner. Schedule your 20-minute strategy session today.
Seriously, because wasn't it just New Year's?
Yeah.
Now it's going to be another New Year's?
Yep.
So the time is flying. Yeah. So what's a good gauge? I know we're going to close out soon. What's a good gauge? 5, 10, 15? Actually, we should be thinking about retirement.
Well, we call the retirement red zone the 10 years or less.
Okay.
10 years or less of your target retirement date. There are action steps that you need to be doing at that point.
Okay.
So if you're in a 10-year window, there's a lot you can do in preparation. And of course, as you get closer to your retirement date, there are more things you need to do. But I call it the 10-year retirement red zone or pink zone.
It's yeah. That's awesome. Have you enjoyed yourself? Tell the band.
They got me on camera. No, really, I've enjoyed myself. I've had a good time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you again, Daryl, for joining us on the Proactive Women podcast. And remember,
Pink is the new color of